Candle Cove is a very popular creepypasta that relies on the premise of a childhood show that only the kids remember, but no one else in the world seems to have, and it turns out to have all been a trick. Is there one like that for you? Let's talk about it. So what I'm talking about is childhood TV shows, maybe your childhood that you remember watching, and it's all but disappeared from the memories of everyone else, right? So I saw some people talking about this online, but they said things that clearly existed, like Freakazoid.
Yeah, Freakazoid, I remember.
That's a thing. Come on now. Everyone knows about that.
Right? His cat walked across the keyboard and hit delete. Mm-hmm. Yeah. What other ones did they mention that they're just
There's a lot of them are just things that really, like dinosaurs, that definitely existed.
Dinosaurs for sure. Not the mama.
Yeah.
What about...
Everyone remembers that.
I wanted to say Mr. Bogus.
I don't know what that is.
There was a Mr. Bogus that was Denver the Last Dinosaur.
Nope.
Crappy ones. But the scariest one, this is a show that I, like, a large portion of my life I thought I made this up as a nightmare.
What the fuck?
It's called The Inhumanoids. No one
is recognizing this in the room.
The Inhumanoids was a cartoon where what they did is there would be a beautiful person, a normal-looking person, and they would get scratched by a giant Inhumanoid monster. And this would happen. Scratches her in the face. They shout, decompose.
It turned her into a nightmare. It's impossible. Sandra! I never did! And now I'm coming for you!
Phrasing. They shout decompose.
That's so scary.
And they turn into giant monsters.
Oh my God. That's so
and you're 6.
Oh my God.
You're 6 years old.
What happened?
And then you have to kill the monsters, but the monsters catch your friends. It's like if zombies, they scratch it, but if you got bit by a zombie and suddenly then you started shouting, decompose! And you grew 50 times your size and you were gone forever and then turned on your friends.
It's a lot like Attack on Titan.
And some of them had rib cages you could pull open. You could pull open the rib, and then if they didn't want to decompose you yet, they'd open their rib and put you inside their ribs, and you'd peek out. And then you'd be trapped until they were like, okay. And then poor Daisy would be, decompose!
What the hell?
What the fuck am I'm allowed to watch that? I had dreams of
I was gonna come here with like David the Gnome or some shit like that, and you have decompose.
I had dreams where like my brother, my mom would take me and go, and then we'd all get scratched and decompose. To Google it, I didn't remember the name. I just Googled terrifying 80s decompose. The fuck no one remembers that because not because no one watched it, but because they've suppressed the memory.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, Brett, that's a good one. I'm glad we didn't talk about this beforehand. Oh God. Jeez. So if you hadn't shown me that, I wouldn't have believed you. I'm sorry, it's too funny.
It's so aggressive.
Yeah, I am one with decompose.
Jesus Christ.
I come for you.
And like terrifying drool and horns.
My eyes are drooling. I mean, my example is far worse, so maybe we're just gonna skip it. I was gonna say the Berenstain Bears.
Remember it?
which is actually the Berenstain Bears
Oh, really?
from another dimension.
Whoa.
There's a theory, because most people remember the Berenstain Bears as the Berenstain Bears.
Right.
But if you look at all your old books, it says Berenstain Bears. So that someone has developed an elaborate theory that at some point we cross dimensions with another one, and that's we're from the Berenstain dimension, but we switched into the Berenstain dimension.
Wow, I love that.
But then I remember there's this old cartoon based on the For Better or Worse comics.
Okay.
Comic strips.
Yeah.
And my sister and I used to make fun of it all the time because, like, they're very white Canadian, and the mom started rapping, and it's from, like, the late 80s. It was very bad. I'm never going to top Brett, though.
I want to say about the Berenstain Bears, I'm sure that was just like, they were like, here's my children's book, do you like it? And then the publisher was like, yeah, but it sounds too Jewish.
I remember it being Steen.
Yeah, so
whole
does
time.
everyone, because we're not anti-Semites, but the publisher was.
Yay us! Wow, that was nuts, Brett. I've never heard of that once. I've at least heard of most of the examples people get. Oh, Jesus Christ. Hey, audience. Can you top that? I bet you can't. Is there a show from your childhood that you remember that no one else seems to? And can you find video evidence like this guy did? Because I wouldn't have believed him otherwise. Let us know what your example is below in the comments. Please like and subscribe for more. It's been real.